Smart, complex. They love company, but not people. Is this really about sheep, who are good for nothing but barbecue? And their wool is also good. But intelligence. We are used to thinking of sheep, Ovis aries, as incredibly stupid. This opinion has not changed much since the 18th century, when one of the founding fathers of the United States of America, George Washington, proclaimed, "If freedom of speech is taken away, then we, meek and quiet, can be led to the slaughter like sheep." Nowadays, a sheep is someone who mindlessly and obediently follows others. Don't be a sheep. This is what they say when they call on a person to think for himself and not submit to someone else's will. However, the truth is that sheep are much smarter than is commonly believed. Watch the video about and break your stereotypes regarding sheep. So, let's begin. Sheep are intelligent and have a similar IQ to cattle. In fact, they are nearly as clever as pigs and are capable of problem solving. Any species remembers information well, even better than primates. For example, they recognize a shepherd simply by intonation. These unassuming-looking animals can remember and then recognize at least 50 human faces over the next 2 years or longer. An unachievable feat even for some humans, sheep can learn to find their way through a complex maze, and always will choose the shortest route on the way. They know where to escape through the fence. You can take a sheep out of a paddock and put them back in there 3 months later, and they'll still find the same hole, if you haven't patched it. If there's a hole in a fence, the sheep are on it. They self-medicate. Sheep who aren't feeling well have been known to seek out plants and substances that make them feel better. Sheep are very sociable. They are highly independent from birth and like to be in a group. Sheep are an excellent indicator of collective thinking because they have a developed herd instinct. This means that it is difficult for them to make decisions alone, and for a comfortable existence, they need to be in a group, that is, a herd. Being left alone is a huge stress. The sheep will be disoriented in space and generally behave inappropriately until it sees someone like itself. Over time, it can even go crazy, so you should not allow these farm animals to be alone for a long time. They are able to communicate different emotions through various vocalizations and will also move their ears to show differing emotions. Sheep are naturally friendly. They can wag their tails like dogs, and they form strong bonds with other sheep, goats, and people. Sheep are not only smart, but also playful. They are generally quite a positive, cheerful animal. Sheep have a huge number of phobias or triggers that drive them to a nervous state. Yes, if a ram or a ewe were a person, they would probably start going to a psychiatrist. For example, if a female or male does not see a fence in front of them, a panic attack will begin, which is associated with the rejection of space and open spaces. Another phobia is the fear of water. No, of course they are forced to drink liquid to live, but they categorically do not like to swim. What is considered a dangerous depth? Usually, this is a water level of about an ankle or slightly higher. And another of the most common phobias, in fact there are more, is the fear of narrow spaces. They tolerate this circumstance easier, but the shepherd will have to work hard to calm them down. Sheep have excellent peripheral vision. Their large pupils allow them to see almost 360 degrees, and they can see behind themselves without turning their heads. Humans, in comparison, average 155 degrees. And perhaps this is due to the pupil provided by nature. It is horizontal and rectangular. Also, the structure and position of the eye itself are unique, which allows them to expand the viewing angle to as much as 300 degrees. Mothers form strong bonds with their lambs. Adult females, called ewes, form strong emotional bonds with their lambs soon after birth. Ewes stay close to their young lambs and encourage following behavior, which young lambs learn quickly. Another way sheep communicate with each other is through vocalizations, often called bleating. Ewes can recognize which lambs are theirs by the sound of their calls, and at just 12 hours old, lambs can also identify their mother through sight and by the sound of her call. Every experienced shepherd will eventually notice that all sheep love light and follow it. This is also expressed in their food intake. For example, even if the grass looks tasty, they will not stop in a place where the soil is covered in shadow and darkness. This is also manifested in behavior. The entire flock will follow brightly lit places and carefully avoid contrasting areas. Even if there is only a small and thin shadow from a pole in the field, the entire flock will prefer not to encounter it and will go around it. A sheep's fleece will grow forever. Depending on the breed, a sheep will produce between 2 and 30 pounds of wool a year. In the UK, sheep are only sheared in the spring and summer, when they naturally need to lose their fleece. We really hope that we were able to reveal something new about these animals for you and showed that sheep and rams are a wonderful subject for research. Subscribe to the channel, watch new videos, and expand your horizons with us.